What does a waiter's tray have to do with your serve? Well, actually a lot. It's one of the most limiting things you can do in your serve. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can fix the waiter's tray. So to start with, what is the waiter's tray position? And by the way, if you don't know whether you have it or not, just use your phone, tape a couple of serves, put them in slow-mo, and if you see this, then you do have the waiter's tray. Because what happens is, in the swing here, at some point, the wrist literally flaps open and your racket strings look up to the sky as if you were a waiter carrying a tray around. Culprit number one, why the waiter's tray happens is the grip. You knew that was coming. I know you knew. So you have to get into your continental grip. And you know that I do have a video out on how to change from your frying pan grip to your continental grip. Link is down below. Check it out. With a waiter's tray serve, you're leaving a whole lot of power and control on the table. Get it? Waiter, table. So what it does, it actually prevents you from getting into the proper loading position and into the proper cocking position. And you have to hit those two positions if you want to hit a solid serve. And of course, with this motion, you're not getting any spin in. So a slice serve or a kick serve is basically not going to happen for you. So here's what you want to get into in the ideal version of the serve. You want to get into your loading position, racket head up to the sky, elbow down, and from here on out, you get into the cocking position. And that is tip of the racket points down and the butt cap looks up. And when you have your waiter's tray, you get into somewhat of a racket drop, but you're not ever going to be able to lead with the edge of the racket. And that is the crucial piece. You are leading with the edge of the racket when you're hitting your serves correctly. And what then decides what serve you're hitting, slice, flat, or kick, of course, in addition to the toss, is how your racket travels up and how much you are pronating. And with this, you can't pronate. So here's your first cue that you want to start thinking about from now on. The racket is always an extension of your hand. So do it first with just your hand. In your ready position here, you have the upper edge of your racket, of course, pointing up. And what you want to do is just separate your hand from the grip and salute. Yes, you want to look at the upper edge, the side that has the thumb, all the way in to where you're getting into your loading position. I'm not sure if that's the proper translation. I'm seeing the upper edge of my racket right here. Just do this a couple of times. And you can absolutely do that in an abbreviated form, a la Caroline Garcia, or you can do it in the full version of your swing. But you do not want to see the wrist flapping open like this. From the loading position, you want to let the racket drop. And you don't want to let it just flap open here. The upper edge that you've been looking into, guiding into your loading position, needs to point towards your spine. Mind you, you're not scratching the back. That's maybe where that cue came from, but you're not touching your back at any one time in your motion. So loading, drop. And you want to have the tip of the racket all the way down. And that is something you can't really do in the waiter's tray. Next drill. Choke up on the grip. Again, continental grip, like so. So you want to start with a choked up racket because it's easier to control the racket head. Okay, I could salute if I wanted to. Be careful that you're not banging your head. And you're just working on letting the racket head drop and then leading with the edge. And your whole objective is to literally hit the ball with the edge. So I'm starting with my salute, let it drop, hit. salute, and hit. And if that happens, that's perfectly fine. That is bound to happen, and that's actually a good sign. Next step in the progression is that you're actually hitting the ball from setting the racket on edge, now turning your thumb up and out, as if you're high-fiving somebody high above you, so that we're getting away from this almost horizontal motion to more of an upward motion, because you want to get up and out, not forward and down. So you're still in your choked up grip, always easier to control your racket head. I'm saluting, and now toss, and I hit. So just do that a couple of times, going from hitting with the edge of the racket to squaring up. And then, of course, gradually move back until you're all the way back to the baseline. And then whether you have an abbreviated motion or a full motion, still do look at the upper frame of your racket. Of course, when you're then later serving, you're not going to look here. You're going to have your eyes on the ball toss, of course. But for now, still check. Do I have the chance from this position here to come down and look at the upper edge or salute? Either one works. Could I do that? Yep. I could salute, and my eyes are on the upper edge. If I'm in my waiter's tray, I have to do a whole lot of weird things to make that happen.